Okay. Before we begin, let us take a moment to bring our palms together in veneration. Our teacher, our master, he is the he is the father of loving kindness and compassion. He found the the true meaning of our lives that we didn't understand by ourselves. He is the father, he is the teacher who showed us the path to free ourselves from all the sufferings, all the fear, grief, anger, negative emotions that we experience. Let us bring our palms together in veneration, the Supreme Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Hello everyone. I think today, parallel to this session in Melbourne, we have another session conducted by our Anagarikas. I think it's in Sinhala. So some people may be present here today. So Anagarika Mahant means also now, I think they are traveling these days. They are in Melbourne. So if you're in Melbourne, you can contact our organizer. You can visit them. And you can have private one-to-one sessions or something. Like if you want, you can talk to them. Especially ladies, you get this chance, right? And also like you can join. I mean, usually ladies can't be drivers for Swami Wahanse's monks, right? So, but in this case, so you can join. Like you can be the driver when they want to go somewhere. So you can rejoin. You can involve in those merits. So this is a good chance for women to help, to participate in all meritorious activities. It's more open to like it's there are restrictions to male side when anagarikas are visiting during the when anagarikas visits. So it's for females like women. So you can be part and parcel with some Buddha Sasana when they visit. So you can involve in a lot of meritorious activities. So take that opportunity. So please do so. I think I know that when they were in Sydney, a lot of our people who come to these sessions, the Monday sessions, they participated in the activities, so they earn a lot of merits. So this is really, I mean, this is what we get from associating Mahasangha, ladies and gentlemen, because Mahasangha means the Buddha's disciples. The Mahasangha includes the Mahasangha means not individual beings, but Mahasangha means the Buddha's disciples who understand, who understood, who realized what Buddha has explained to this world, and they know they are on the path to achieve that ultimate goal. And all people who have achieved, the monks who have achieved, or anagarikas who have achieved that goal. So these are the Buddha's disciples. The Buddha's disciples consist with four kind of people, like bhikshu, bhikshuni, upasaka, upasika. Like you are also Buddha's disciples. You are also have taken a path to practice what Buddha has explained. When you associate Mahasangha, when you help Mahasangha, you get this chance to engage with this Buddha Sasana. As a result of that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you're creating a vacuum with your karma, your mind, to receive the Buddha's teachings. That's why in our detox retreats, we ask our devotees, but participants, to offer flowers, and we showed them like how to offer these things, offer atapirikara, offer these flowers, oil lamps, incense sticks, and offer food, not for the Buddha statue, but behind that there's a huge story. It's not for the Buddha statue that you offer to the Buddha's qualities. The Buddha's qualities means that the qualities that a mind who attain Buddhahood, who realize the Dhamma, will experience these qualities. So you have offered these things for that qualities. This is what actually happens. This is what actually you're doing. Like when you involve in merits, you offer to these qualities. Because since you offer to the qualities, you will receive the environment to receive that qualities. This is what actually happens. What you give is what you get, because you're giving to the qualities, you're offering to the qualities, you're giving you're supporting for the qualities. As a result of that, qualities will come to you. This is what exactly happens when you involve in merits. I think last time we have described about the value of merits, value of these good deeds, wholesome. I mean, you need to create this wholesome mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have a wholesome mind within right now, within your mind, you won't understand, you won't realize the reality. I mean, in order to receive the Buddha's teachings, in order to realize the Buddha's teachings, you need to have that wholesome mind, like pleasant mind. That's why I remember the other day I told you, right? The one good like old woman who was suffering, and she was at near her death, and she saw the Buddha, and there was a conversation happen. As a result of that, her mind turned to a pleasant mind. Right on that moment, she passed away, and she has become a what? A deity, a goddess, right? Remember, I told that story. Likewise, it's not. I mean that is something, a byproduct of this Buddha Sasana, ladies and gentlemen. Going to Deva, like becoming a Deva, is a byproduct. It's not byproduct. It's like a, that companies, they have this. How do you call that? A grade, and B grade, C grade products. So in a company that produce, right, some production, like they categorize these production: A grade production, B grade production, C grade production. The Buddha Sasanas, the lowest value, the C grade production is the Deva. B grade productions are going to the Brahma. A grade production never goes anywhere. They don't go anywhere. They finish the project, right? They finish the existence. So that's the A grade. So our ultimate goal is to end whatever the cycle that we are tumbling in. We are trapped in. Right? That is our ultimate goal. So you need to have that ultimate goal. The other day I was telling to our Sinhala, during our Sinhala sermon, ladies and gentlemen, the encourage, the enthusiasm that you have towards to practice this path, that is very important. If you don't have from your heart, if you don't have from, like, if you don't have that wholeheartedly, if you don't do it wholeheartedly, truth to your practice, right, you can't achieve this goal. Actually, we have to become a Buddha's aspirants. You all are individual are Buddha's aspirants. little Buddhas. But the thing is, your Buddhas are sleeping. You all have sleeping Buddhas. So we have to awaken that sleeping Buddha. The teacher's duty, the teacher's role is to awaken that sleeping Buddha. Right? You have to awake that sleeping Buddha. And after that, yes, you become the Buddha. In order to do that, you need to have that courage. You need to have that enthusiasm to practice the path, to understand the Dhamma. By attending to these sessions every Monday and by listening to these Dhamma talks through from YouTube and practicing the path and doing half an hour contemplation and trying to apply this Dhamma throughout your life, throughout the around the clock. If you try to apply this concept, I mean, you are the son of the Buddha, you are the daughter of the Buddha, because you are following what he follows, what he did. This is what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. This should be our ultimate goal. It does not matter whether you are in a pinnacle, you are at your pinnacle of your career, because I'll show you, ladies and gentlemen, the depth of this problem. We don't understand the depth of this problem. We don't understand. The last week is really valuable week for me. You know why? The Guru Amdro. I was running here and there. I was busy, right? I was busy with like taking calls to our UK organizers, because now I'm planning the next tour from October, 6th of October to December. I'm planning, right? So organizing. I have taking calls and having meetings and asking them to contact these other organizations, and it's a lot going on here. It happened before I come to Australia and New Zealand. It happened in the same way, so I was busy with that, and I was actually coming to Velimalua. Velimalua means meditation hall. So Guru Hamdru's kuti, Amadasana Nayaka Hamdru, that our second incumbent Thero, the Amadasana Thero, I think you know them, you know him, the fair spectacle one guy, monk, right? Right. Those kutis, the kuti means that they reside, right? They reside in that those kutis. Those kutis are next to our Velimalua, our meditation hall. So when I come there, they can see me. If monks are, so they check whether monks are doing it or meditation or not, right? So they are our teachers, right? They guide us. So one day that he noticed that I was actually having phone calls and going here and there, then right. So he called. I've been summoned to his in front of his door, and he told me, Mahinda Dero, I need to show you something. I know that all this, everyone does not understand this. I saw that you are also now busy. Everyone is busy. All our monks are busy. Busy means they are involved in not in indulging pleasure, but disseminating this Dhamma, to propagate this Dhamma to the world. That people are studying languages, and they involved in so many activities. Ladies and gentlemen. If you come here, you will see. If you come here, you will see there are like 800 people collectively get together, and they have one vision and one family, like one target. Everybody is going through to that, achieve that target. They support each other. That's our duty, right? We have teachers meeting, group discussions, sermons, organizing things, and all these things happens. Then Guru Hamdru told me, Mahinda Thero, I want to show you something. I want to give a challenge. Oh, no, he told me, there's a challenge. Would you accept? I was like, okay. Then I told, if you you are my teacher, Guru Andro. So if you think to attain Nibbana, I should do something, tell me, I will do. I'm ready to accept that challenge. I didn't know that, this is something that he was thinking, like, so I was the lab rat. I became the lab rat. I'll explain what happened. Then he told me, okay, you and Bakula Tero. Bakula Tero is my companion, right? Who always travels with me. You and Bakulathero, now you both have to come to the Valimalu, like one day, give me the time. If you accept the challenge, my challenge is come to the Valimalu. Valimalu means meditation hall. Come to Valimalu meditation hall. You stay there. You know that in our meditation hall, you have this the, 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 the tracks with filled with sand, right? So this is where you do walking meditation, and there's a place to sit. So this is how it happens. I'll show you one day in another video. Now what happened? He told me you have to stay in the Valley Maluga meditation hall for 18 hours. 18 long hours you have to stay in in the Valley Maluga using only one track, and you have only one seat, one track. You stay there, no phone, no books, no listening to the Dhamma, nothing. Tell me the time and I'll let you know what to do. Then I was like, ooh, 18 hours. Then I thought, okay. Then I said, okay, I'll accept the challenge. I'll do that. And then I went to Bakulathero and I told him, he's my student, right? So he has to do what I asked him to do, right? You know what? Guru Hamdra has given us a challenge. I accepted it. I don't know whether you accept it. If you follow my path, then you have to accept as well. So I forced him to accept, right? And I told him, so he's trying to teach us something. So we have to stay in the Valley Malua for 18 hours. Would you accept that? Then he was like, ooh. And then, yes. Okay. Okay. And he was like, yeah, why not? Yes, let's try. He was okay. He was really okay with that. Okay, then I said, okay, good. Then we discuss the appropriate time, and we chose from Wednesday 1 p.m. Until Thursday 7 a.m. in the morning. So after the noon arms, Wednesday 1 p.m. That means afternoon 1 p.m. until Thursday 7 a.m. in the morning. So whole overnight and in the Valley Malu, and then after that we can sleep. So we woke up on Wednesday 4 a.m. in the morning. Usually our daily routine, right? We usually in the monastery we wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, and then we usually sleep at 10 p.m. night. So after 4 a.m. wake up, so you have to sleep next day 7 a.m. So that's the plan. I said yes, of course we can try that. So Wednesday 1 p.m. to Thursday 7 a.m. And then we went there, and Guru Hamdru gave us a plan. So because we get hungry, so he offered because there's a small kitchen in that area. So there's a Guru Hamdru has a monk who support him, who help him for these activity things, and he asked that Nagita Hamdru, his name is Nagita Hamdru, and Nagita Hamdru to serve us Gilampasa 1 in 6 p.m. So after we started with 1 p.m., 1 in 6 p.m., the other one is 10 p.m., and the another Gilampas at 4 a.m. in the early morning, and then 7 a.m. you can have morning alms. Okay, I'm happy with that. So meal will be provided, meal will be served. So the condition is you can't talk each other, you can't talk anyone. And then he told me, okay, this is the plan. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my experience. I'm sharing with you. You know, from when I started it, 1 p.m., right? This is my experience. 1 p.m. I started contemplating. And it has developed a samadhi. Samadhi means like one pointness, like not one pointness. I have created, it has developed samadhi to contemplation samadhi. As a result of that, I was in that samadhi, and I didn't want to watch the time. You know why? Because no point of watching the time at 1 p.m. in Wednesday and 2 p.m. because I have to spend another 18 hours, right, to go. And I was joking with Guru Hamdullah because before 18 hours, right? 18 hours, I was in a flight from Doha to Auckland. It was also 18 hours. I told him that I have tried it before in one seat for 18 long hours. Let's see. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't understand. I didn't understand in that point why what Guru Hamdullah wants me to do to realize, because this is not something that we usually does, like 18 long meditation, like. And he told me once he told me before he does, try to spend some time without meditation, without contemplating as well. He did that. He said that, right? No listening, no reading, nothing. You can't do anything. Just like this. It's boring. Nothing to see, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, no, I realized something. That's why I want to share with you. First 5 hours went like nothing happened. I was in a samadhi. I was contemplating, and then we had Gilampasa, and then after that, at night, other monks came. The other monks knows that we are doing 18 hours, so nobody talks with us. So no phone, nothing, and we were like, I was contemplating. I was contemplating one karmasthana, one way, and I was doing that. And after 10 p.m., we had a small Gilampasa, and then after that, right, hunger came. 12 midnight, 1 o'clock, and then I feel sleepy. The Bakul Hamd always wake me up, and I have to wake him up if he sleeps. So that's the agreement. So I can't sleep as well as he can sleep, because if I'm seated, he'll be walking, right? And if he is seated, then I have to walk. So that's the plan. So because if you walk, you can't sleep, right? Whenever you walk, you can't sleep. So likewise, now 1 a.m. in the morning until 4 a.m. in the morning, it was like a, how to say, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it was like spending 100 years. I felt the mental vexation. You know that this is not the vexation that we usually experience. I felt that mental vexation, how mind is truly vexed. I mean, I want you to experience as well. So don't spend 18 hours, but we can have that. You can experience it. Because whenever that we contemplate, when I contemplate, I didn't experience that kind of fixation. During this midnight time period, that even mind creates its own illusions. Like, own illusion means like stories. During that time, lust striked, fear striked, all these negative emotions striked in. And I was trying to contemplate, because of the level of the negative emotion, the negativity of the emotions, as because of that negativity that happened created in the mind, you can't switch on the contemplation. That happens. Because if you don't have pleasantness in your mind, really, remember I told you that wholesomeness, if you don't have this pleasantness in your mind, you can't actually contemplate. Contemplate means not something that you're doing, like we don't contemplate like that telling something or something, right? Chanting something. Contemplate means you realize what actually happens right now, right? That realization is like there's a sense, there's a sense of reality, right? You don't switch on that contemplation mode when you're vexed, when you're truly like when your emotions are higher. Negative emotions are intense. If your negative emotions are intense, then you can't contemplate. So the idea here is, it's really, really intense. time period and that time. And when Nagita came around 4 a.m. to make us gilampasa, because now hunger is also there, sleepiness and all the things are there, right? And I was like, ooh, what a relief when he came and offered us gilampasa, right? And after that, again, now I was okay with, and I started contemplating, and it was, and last uh, to like until 6:45 I was okay. From 6:45 to 7 a.m. Now only 15 minutes. I check the time. 15 minutes to go. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I was there now 17 hours and 45 minutes, right? But that 15 minutes also like 100 years. I was I was checking the time. Oof, it's not going. Why this clock is not turning? That really happened. Then when we went to Guru Handra told me, did you feel how hard the life is? Actually, we felt it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the case. These all living beings in this world, from their mental ground, the ground level in the mind, there's a tremendous, enormous amount of vexation is there. Like the vexation that has in the mind is like it's over the moon. No one realize, no one feels it, no one sends it because they are busy. You also have this. Right now you have this. When you do something, when you involve in activity, in an activity, in an activity, that activity actually soothes you, that vexation. That activity masks that vexation. The mental torment you experience, it masks. That's why people want to always keep them busy, doing some activity, involved in activity. Not only normal people, ladies and gentlemen, even hermits, even who are in jungle, who do meditation, they also have this mental torment, mental vexation as a result of that. That's why they contemplate on something. As a result of that, you're doing an activity, you're doing something. If you are contemplating, not contemplating like what we do, to develop jhana, to 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 go to jhanas, different levels of meditation, you can achieve that, right? You still have to involve in an activity. It's like the perfect metaphor for this is riding a bicycle. When you ride a bicycle, you get the balance, right? When you ride it, it balances it. If you stop riding it without a stand, there's no balance, isn't it? Still, you can balance it, right? Using the center gravity, you can balance it while you like you're not riding any, you're not riding, you're not riding the bike, right? Moment that you don't ride the bike, if you're now still you can balance it, right? But as long as you start to kick in, as long as you start to ride in, the balance lose. But because of the riding activity, the balance again comes. Does that make sense? When you ride the bike, okay, get onto the bike and do nothing without the stand, you will fail, right? So what you have to do is get onto the bike and you have to ride it, right? When you ride it, the moment you start kicking, right? Kicking this is the bicycle I'm talking about, not the the motorcycle, right? Okay. Huh? Yes. So, right, that loses the balance. At the same time, because bicycle moves to front, like forward, as a result of that, again balance comes, balance happens, balance is creating. Balance is an effect because of the riding.
Yes.
Do you feel it? Like this is a good example for this. So when you are involved in activities in your day-to-day life, you don't feel that mental vexation. You feel it's very balanced. You feel it's normal. It's soothing. It's okay. This is the ground level that everyone resides. I want you to have this awareness, ladies and gentlemen. Guru Hamdro showed us some good guidelines, good guidance. He showed us like he triggered an awareness within us that how the depth of this problem that we have to like find an answer. Ladies and gentlemen, now think about this mental vexation is there with you. That's why people are involved in hobbies, different hobbies, reading books. Why? You need to occupy yourself for something. You need to involve in an activity, otherwise you feel some dizziness and if mind is vexed because of the vexation in the mind, if you don't have anything, not if you don't have anything to do, then mind will trigger the sleeping cycle, and it will be in that, like it's like a coma again. The mind itself living in the mind. That's why in your dreams, in your sleeps, you can see dreams because mind is keep busy with trying to create some stories. Like in the day, you are daydreaming, and when you sleep, you dream again. You dream here also. You dream, but the thing is, these are daydreams, right? This is daydreaming. What you do, the mind always need a mind to survive. Mind has a wanting to a mind, like mind has a wanting for a mind. That's the void. That's the base level void that exists in all the minds. You have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why time to time. Now I mean it's okay. You don't stop anything, right? Be mindful that sometimes don't you scratch your head. Do like this. Do like this. Mm. Check whether ears are there. Whether your bangles are there. You do like this. No, not bangles. Earrings are there, right? And if you wear bangles, like bangles and the two hand, right? Okay, you check them, it's there. You touch it, and sometimes that this I have seen this usually in males. You shake your leg, right? Right. So this happens usually in males, right? I remember that those days, our Amadasana Thero was telling us, don't stop wagging your tail when you do like that. When we were in Anagarika period, he was telling that don't stop wagging your tail, right? That's how he like stop doing that, right? He asked to stop doing that. But I mean, this happens each and every moment. You involved in an activity. You have to involve in an activity. You are doing something. All the living beings have to do something. That's why this world is like this, ladies and gentlemen. Without a job, it's not that you don't go to a job because that to survival. Actually, you're going to a job because of the survival, not from money, but to keep you busy because the mental vexation is too high. Either watching TV, you need a change. You always need to change things, but actively involved in something. This is the case. You need involving in something, always. Busy. You need you you have that mental vexation coming like it happens within your mind. As a result of that, you take part doing something. At least he told during this 18 hours, Guru Hamza told us, count how many times you go to toilet, how many times you drink water. Because I had he only allowed us to take a water bottle, right? And then he said, this is your survivor. This is your survival plan. Water bottle. You know what? Right? You will drink water. Because of what? Not because of sleepy, because of the vexation. You will do that. See, this is what he asked us. Actually, I experienced that, ladies and gentlemen. This is something. That's why a jail is a jail for that people who are in the jail. I mean, come on. If you don't have this mental vexation, you can't create a jail. You know why? Because you get free food, you get free clothes, you have a place to stay, you have the toilet facilities and everything. If you get rid of all this, like let's say the physical uh, punishment, if you don't have this physical punishment, like it's I mean it's a heaven, ladies and gentlemen. It's like Vasavati Divya Putra, like the Vasavati realm. They get whatever they want, whatever they need, they have it, right? Going to a jail. So this is something like that. But the thing is, right? In a jail, you feel this is a jail because why? Because you feel that because of the mental vexation, because limited things to do. There's no difference. There's no change. Limited things. Then Guru Hamdro, after the 18-hour session, then Guru Hamdro told, next time, right? I'll put you in two different rooms, black rooms, dark rooms, and 18 hours. And there's the camera, and it will spray water if you sleep. He was joking. He doesn't he won't do that. But he wants us to understand the depth of this problem, the gravity of this problem. Actually, I realize it. That's why I'm explaining. I came and I want you to understand this as well. I mean, you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, because there's no answer for this. Healing yourself is not the answer. Okay, because of this mental vexation, you involved in busy. You involved in some activity, right? Morning to night, you involved in activity. You're busy, 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 right? At your dying breath also, you will be busy. Because why? Because of that mental vexation. Okay, is that the answer? No, because it's not the answer for that mental vexation. It keeps manifesting, it keeps happening. You have no idea what to do. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I felt compassion and kindness for the all living beings during that day, that time when I was contemplating. We have the answer. We have the answer. Remember, first 5 hours, nothing happened because I was contemplating. I was reflecting the Dhamma. I was understanding what happens. Actually, I will explain that as well next week or this week. It depends on the time that we have. I'll explain. I was contemplating deeply about this body and the whatever the sensations that we experience as a rupa, like colors, right? It was really, really like spot on. I was really happy about that. I mean, it got rid of that ignorance in that moment. As a result of that, there's no vexation. But the thing is, because like since we haven't achieved arhatun, right? What happens? Even when you contemplate, you go to that realm of the Arhatun Hanse's experience. But when you come back from that contemplation, you still have this ignorance coming up in your mind, right? Ignorance is now again starting the battle in jati process happens. Now, as a result of that, mental vexation starts. Right? So we have the solution. I'll explain slowly. We have the solution, but we have to first realize the problem. We have to first understand the gravity of this issue. That's the most important thing. So, have you heard about this delusion, aversion, and anger, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the level of this mental vexation. We can actually understand these two things. You sense them. When you crave, you feel that. When you get angry, you feel it. You sense it. You experience it. You don't want to be in here. You don't want to be in here. That's why when craving happens, you do something to get rid of it. That's why you buy the whatever that you want. The when want that's I mean, when I say wanting, right? Wanting, you always think I'm talking about this craving, the wanting to something, wanting for something, and these are the wantings. That's what you feel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this delusion, the fire of delusion, the fire of craving, fire of anger, fire of delusion is the master here. This is the ground level. This is like an iceberg. Remember iceberg theory? You can see on the surface a small iceberg, but underneath it's a huge ice underneath the sea level, right? Under the sea level. Similarly, the fire of delusion is massive. This is masked by whatever the activities that we involved in. You can't see this fire. The suffering that you experience because of this delusion. This is what we call raga, dvesha, moha in Pali. This is the moha. Because of moha, we experience raga and dvesha, but moha is masked by because of our activities. Did you get that point? Delusion, yes. Right? Because of the delusion, delusion is the ground level. Delusion is the base, right? There's a tremendous amount of mental vexation that you have if you don't watch a TV. Like, why people use phones? Why do they use phones? I know that we use our phones to do like communication, but that's not the case. Here, what I'm referring to, time to time, you take the phone out and check it, right? Don't stop any action. I'm not asking you to stop any action. We have to be aware that behind this action, there's a mental vexation. We involve these activities because of the mental vexation. Yes. The amount of vexation that we experience is high. That's your norm. That becomes your norm. As a result of that, it's something that you have been accustomed to that vexation. As a result of that, you involve in activity thinking that is the normality, that is the norm, right? You have to take the phone out and check the notification. That is because of the you get the notification. That's okay. But the thing is, when you do that, you're not doing because to check the notification. You're doing that action because of the mental vexation. You can experience this. Try not to do that. When you get when you want to check the phone, try not to touch it. You will experience the spike of this. If you closely look at, If your eyes are open and looking at the outside, then you will notice. This is insightful awareness, right? You have to turn your camera to inside, right? Got it? You get the point, right? You have to think your mind, your inside, right? You will experience if you stop doing it. Like try not to do that, you will experience it. This is the mental vexation, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing is, you are living with this. You are living with this mental vexation, unbeknowing, not knowingly that there's a vexation like this. I mean, life is like life, your life with this vexation. Life, living a life with this vexation is like you are living in hell, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not telling that you are living in hell, you are living in human world, but the thing is, even your chitta is at fire. Always the vexation is there. That's why people read books, people write books, people listen to music, people watch movies, people involved in hobbies, activities. All these things are there because of what? Because of the vexation. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that you can see in this world are manifestations because of this ground level vexation. Economy. People have created an economy because of the vexation. Yes, of course, you need them, you need that to have four requisites to live your life. I'm not talking about that part, like food, shelter, clothes, medicine. These are the four requisites for your life to keep your life, to propagate your life, to keep your life, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this mental vexation. Your people have done all these actions, activities. People create new things because of why? Why do they need to create new things? They are bored with what they have right now. They need to experience a difference, a change. So they mix something, two things together and create something. It's a new thing. This is the web of delusion. This is World Wide Web of Delusion, ladies and gentlemen. WWWD, not www dot. Actually, it's dot is D, right? As well, yes. This is World Wide Web of Delusion. Everyone lives in this delusion. Because of that, there's a tremendous, enormous, the vexation is so high. The thing is, everybody in this world, they have this. You can check with dogs. If you have a dog, right, like puppy, cat. Oh, see, I can see the Nick has a cat, right? Right. Yes, right. You can inspect how they behave. They always involve in activities to do something. That's the vexation, ladies and gentlemen. Not even cats and dogs. Humans are also like that. If you can put a like aerial view, right? Right, aerial camera, and it's check how these people are, what they are doing, then you will feel that, you will understand this. The Buddha found a way to eradicate that vexation. Buddha found a way to get rid of that vexation. Buddha explains how this vexation happens. Ladies and gentlemen, doing an action is not the solution for this vexation. You have this, huh? This week, I'm giving you, I'm giving you a chance to understand this, the depth of this problem that we experience, we have. If you can allocate 1 hour, you don't need 18 hours, you will feel this, right? You don't need 18 hours, right? You will experience this. Allocate 1 hour and stay in one place without watching, without taking your phone, without reading, without thinking, and try to stay in one place. You will understand. Sometimes you will start scratching your legs, scratching your back, scratching your fingers like this, doing something. and like this. All these are the, I mean, you will find them, right? You will notice these things. You will do these things, and you sometimes you will tap to a wall like a table like this, like I mean play a rhythm or something, a music. Even if you lock yourself like this for 2 or 3 hours, you will start to create stories. Like create stories mean like your imaginations, like oh you will be thinking about something that happened in the past. That happened to me during that 18 hours. I was like one occasion, I think after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. I didn't notice this, right? 9 p.m. I didn't actually contemplate. I was actually thinking about okay, so the next tour that Guru Hamduru we have to bring Guru Hamduru to Australia, and then I'm planning in next tour, the December one, right? The Australia one, and we have to do this Sydney retreat, and the Guru Hamduru will be there. Blah 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 blah. Now planning, right? I didn't notice this. Like after 18 hours, when I reflect about what happened during these 18 hours, I realized okay, all things happened because of that fixation. Because when you think about something, when you are in a story, that defilement process is so happy with that story, because you are living in a story, you are living with time, you are thinking about something that something that will happen in the future, or something that happens in the past. You are living in the time frame when you make stories. I mean, it's another Dhamma talk, like we'll discuss this in future, right? Jati needs a whole story. I mean, you are living in a novel, ladies and gentlemen. You need a novel always. You need a novel to survive, not novel to read. Your life is a novel. That's a story. You came A to B, you went A to B, and then you did, and then you done that, and then you read books. And Nilachal was telling, right? 30 years he was reading books, he was understanding. See, all these things are novel. I'm not insulting, right? I'm telling you that this is something that happens, right? So all these are our stories that we created within our mind because of the mental fixation. I want you to do this. Like take 1 hour. And yesterday I found some people like contact these. Yeah, I think yesterday I informed them to try this in single group, and one of them actually contacted our organizer, and it said it's not 1 hour. I can't stay 15 minutes. You try to understand this. You will check the time. I mean, if you can set up a camera next to your clock, you will see how many times you watch that clock. You check 10 minutes. Okay. That 15 minutes I was talking about, the final 15 minutes, right? I walk one direction and check the clock, and then turn the other side and walk back and check the clock. And it was like this. 17 hours and 45 minutes is okay, but that 15 minutes is like another 100 days, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you will understand this, the gravity. I mean, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, what to do? Okay, riding the bike, right, will bring you that balance. Okay, is that the thing? Is that the thing? Is that the solution? No, then you have to keep riding. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you will be reborn again. Rebirth happens not because of that actually karma. At your dying breath, there's a tremendous amount of mental vexation to create another mind. Right now, this mind, right now, can you hear this clap? No, because right now, because of, can you hear this clap? Yeah, right? Because of this incident, it creates a mind. That is the clapping sound. It creates within your mind. Like that's the mind that created at that moment. Because of the mental vexation, that mind has a wanting to create another mind. As a result of that, it will attract the vipaka, that means the karmic, whatever that you have done, and create the environment to manifest another mind. Right? I mean, because of the defilements, it is creating, I mean, it's not something that, sorry, if I, did you, don't be misled like this, don't be like, don't misunderstand here. Because of the vipaka, because of the environment, mind arises and passes away. That's the normal process. But because of the defilement, that defilement always creates a wanting for a second mind, another mind. Right? Because of this wanting, at your dying breath, the last mind that happens in your body, when it passes away, because of that defilement, it triggers an environment to create another mind. That's why you will be reborn. You will be born again. The rebirth happens because of the defilement that happen, that exists, that occur in the final breath, the last mind. Does that make sense? So we know because of the vipaka, this is the energy trapped in vipaka karmic strand, right? Because of the vipaka coming to fruition in the presence of environment. Environment here means rupa. Rupa means not the four great elements plus I. This is the environment. These two comes together. That creates what? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. This is the mind. Because of the ignorance plus attachment, ignorance leads to attachment, leads to jati. This is the sense of self. Here, there's a mental vexation in here. This path. This is the sense of self, sense of existence, pressure. Sorry, sense of entity, uniqueness, oneness. This is what you experience. When this process happens, because of the vipaka, it creates. This is something like, this vipaka is something like battery. This vipaka is something like battery. Like battery is always, the electrons inside the battery always wanted to come out, right? Because its high potential is high. As a result of that, vipaka is always looking to, like, it's waiting for an environment to come out. The energy is now, energy is being trapped in this vipaka. Now what happened? When the environment, when the time is right for me, I cross the stream. Remember, that's it. I think I have a dream, right? That's a song. The vipaka, when the time is right, when the conditions are met, vipaka releases its energy. As a result of that, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, vijnana happen. That means what you experience right now is something like this. Because of the ignorance and because of the attachment, mental vexation happens. Through the mental vexation, jati happens. Jati means sense of self, sense of existence, sense of uniqueness, sense of entity. Each and every mind is this Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. These are the five aggregates. Let's say this is where the final chitta, final mind in your body. Because of the defilement process that happens each and every mind. This is the defilement process, this process. This creates environment again to be born with another mind. At your dying breath, it creates the environment to attract another vipaka to create this I. Because if you don't have I, if you don't have an I, I'm not talking about the physical I, I'm talking about the spiritual I. If you don't have I, right, you won't be able to, I mean, you won't have this environment. I has to be there, right? The physical or spiritual body, the mental body has to be there in order to create this Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana. It's because of the vipaka that creates Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana. But there's another special form of vipaka. It's a big vipaka balls. This is what we call Janaka Karma, Janaka Vipaka. These big balls can create this environment. Right? These big balls can create this environment. Because of the jati process, it attracts these big balls to create an environment for the next mind to happen. This happens at your dying breath. There are two types of karmic balls, karmic strands, karmic energy. One is to, this is what we call pravrutti, the news. I don't know whether it's in English. In Pali, it's called pravrutti vipaka. Pravrutti vipaka means these vipaka can generate not the environment, but the rupa vedana sanya sankara vijnana. These ones. There's another form of vipaka that can generate environment. Does that make sense? Did you understand that? Right? There are two types of vipaka. One is to, there are two types of vipaka. One is to create rupa vedana sanya sankara vijnana. Another form of vipaka that can create this I. It's not your physical I, right? But spiritual I, the mental I. That is the mind base, you can say. Have you heard these spirits? They have the skinwalkers. They say, you know, we have physical body, plus there's another mental body. Did you understand that? The Bhutas, Pretas, and all these other realms, they have very finer aggregations of bodies, right? I'm talking about that fine aggregation. The physical body is something that developed because of our mother has given that food and created this DNA and all these things. This is something because of mom and dad that we receive this, and from the food that we have taken since we were born, right? I'm not I'm talking about, no, I'm not talking about this body. I'm talking about the finer body. That means the spiritual body, right? uh, Before becoming a human, becoming a dog, the spiritual dog will come, right? Manokaya. I don't know whether I have limited words in English for this. I'll try to find this later. Right? Subtle body. Yes, this is the gross body, right? In Buddha has explained this Gandhabba. Like, even though we have astral body, excellent, excellent, right? Even we have 8 billion people in the human realm, but 8 billion into 8 billion astral bodies, human astrals are still living. They didn't get the chance to come to a womb, right? 8 billion into 8 billion. I'm not telling precisely. It's like it's a tremendous amount of, right? Human astral bodies are still living in this realm without getting a human like physical body, right? Okay. Now this Janaka Vipaka can create that astral body. Does that make sense now? Janaka Vipaka, the huge karmic ball, can create this astral body. That astral body is now an environment to create Rupa Vedana Sanya Sankara Vijnana. So Pravrutti Vipaka, the smaller Vipaka balls can create again another mind. So this happens during your dying breath. At your dying breath, when you lose this physical and astral body, right? Because of the jati, because of the defilement process, it creates condition to 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 that Janaka Vipaka will create the environment. As a result of that, another mind will start. Not another mind. Next mind happens because there's a mind base now. So we can simply say like this. So we can simply say, right, there are two types of vipaka. One is bigger vipaka, bigger vipaka means bigger energy. It can create the mind base. If you lose your mind base, this mind base, at your dying breath, because of the mental vexation, because of the jati process, it can create the condition, right, to bring that big karmic vipaka to create a mind base in the next. That's your next life. That's why people call it in the next life. In this life you will be a human, next life you will be a dog, something like that happens. It happens because of this. This conversion happens exactly at your dying breath, right? That environment, right? That's why you can say I born in human world, I born in hell. That means that astral body can only receive the vibration of that kind of other four great elements. Right now you are receiving the vibrations of what? Human world vibration. The human world, four great elements, because of the four great elements that exist, energy that exists in current on the earth, you receive this vibration because now you have that astral body. That's why you are a human. Likewise, at your dying breath, you will be born in a different world. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, now here, I have to say this. You haven't seen the outside world, isn't it? Have you seen the outside world? Or all the colors, sound, taste, smell, touch thoughts are something manifested in your mind. Remember, we talk about this. Sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, thoughts are manifestations in the mind. You haven't seen the four great elements. So I'm not going to talk about these things. I want you to focus on the mental vexation, right? So we'll explain this later slowly. But here's the catch. It doesn't matter whether you will be born in hell or heaven or spiritual or any astral body. But the thing is, you haven't find an answer for that mental vexation, even you had a human life. Because you will keep riding. And you are still riding even after you pass away. You will feel like you are balanced. That's why ask from a dog, I'll make you a human. Would you like to come? No, he would say, the dog will say, no, no, I want to stay in the dog world, because that mind feels that he's okay. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to pass away, because everybody wants to stay in that realm. Even like you. Let's say, okay, I'll buy a ticket in the Deva world, right? Would you want to come with me? But you have to die. Would you accept that visa? Sorry, the ticket. No, because you don't want to lose this world, lose this life, because that is that. See, this is what exactly that jati process is doing. Defilement process is doing. Because of the defilement, the vexation is there. As a result of that mental vexation, you always want to do something. There's a wanting to involve in activity. right? But the thing is, if you keep doing an activity for that mental vexation, you feel it like balance, but you haven't done anything for that vexation.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because of the mental vexation, you keep involving different activities, right? You are busy. Okay, now you are so busy and you are doing so many things until you die. Still, the mental vexation is still there. It's something like taking a Panadol for your diseases. Panadol is not a cure, ladies and gentlemen. Panadol is a temporary relief. Does that make sense? All the activities, people are super busy in this world. Even a beggar is busy, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that beggar is not busy. Beggar is keep doing something. You know, if you when you want to take your phone, keep the phone there and try how you will survive. Then you start turning your neck here and there and watching things. If you have a phone, you take the phone because of the phone is always producing different colors and different action, right? Different things. You are hanging. You will be hang on to the phone. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, everybody is addicted, not to the phone, but to see, hear, smell, taste, touch, think. That is the ground level of addiction. We want to we are talking about people who get addicted to drugs and porn or all these phone and games. No, the ground level addiction. We all have that addiction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my ask of you, right? This week, try to find this problem. You need to realize this. Then you will see how all the beings are suffering in this with this problem. This is the ground level. I want you to stay in one place and think about this. There's a tremendous amount of vexation is there, but you won't notice it, you won't feel it because you are busy. You will notice this. You can't stay. I mean, I'm not asking you to doing things, right? I'm asking you to build this awareness. Because of this, like next week, I will explain how this Dhamma contemplation eradicates this vexation, right? I will explain that. Like when you contemplate the Dhamma, when you come to realization, when you develop this awareness of awareness, that will get rid of the vexation. We have the solution, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Buddha is Buddha. That's why when we start this session, we brought our palms together and worship this man who found this. I mean, I can't imagine without the Buddha, without this realization, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to, we don't have a solution. We will keep riding the bicycle. When we, when there's a problem in this bicycle, we create another bicycle, we get onto that bicycle and start. And you feel like, oh, okay, I am balanced. I'm okay. Nothing, there's no problem, there's no issue. I'm okay, I'm fine. Right? And the thing is, when lust, when anger, when craving happens, you know how to do and you come back to the normal ground level. You think that is the normal. No, that is the web of delusion. That is the web of delusion that you have created, that mind has created. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, only refuge is the understanding of Dhamma. And the understanding is the awareness. Building this awareness is the only refuge. That's why Natti me saranang anyam buddho me saranang varang. Those people, I remember my grandmother was always chanting that stanza. Natti me saranang anyam buddho me saranang varang. Natti me saranang anyam dhammo me saranang varang. Natti me saranang anyam sangho me saranang varang. Natti me saranang anyam nibbanam paramasukam. Right? My grandmother was, they didn't understand this, but they were telling, they were chanting this. Nati me saranang anyam buddho me saranang varang means there's no refuge other than the Buddha. Nati me saranang anyam dhammo me saranang varang. There's no refuge other than the Dhamma. Dhamma means the truth. Nati me saranang anyam sangho me saranang varang. There's no refuge other than the association of Mahasangha. Nati me saranang anyam nibbānam paramasukha. There's no refuge other than attaining the enlightenment. My grandmother didn't understand the depth of this stanza, but I feel right now. I mean, this is the only solution, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody everyone is taking this Panadol. I mean, you will understand this. I want you to realize this. I want to realize the depth of this problem, depth of this issue, right? Try to surface it up, this vexation that you have. You change postures, right? Think about, why do you change posture? You will find it out. When you take the phone, why did you take the phone? Why you want to take the phone? Just stop and think. Then you will feel you will feel the vexation. The thing is, because of this modern science and technology, because, see TikTok, all these shorts.
Yes.
When you the other day, I had a chance to go to TikTok because of the Enlight, and I was checking there, and we have the different people come together and they publish this Enlight channel, right? So I went there, and I when you enter to the TikTok, you get the something TikTok normal videos, right? It was like full of colors and and brightness and all this, something happens. Like then ooh, what the hell is that? It's a video, but it was really, really dynamic. So many differences, so many changes happens during first few seconds. I mean, you have seen that. You will notice that, right? This is the relief. This is the this is the relief people need. It's like you're having 24 Panadols at once. When you open TikTok video and see this, it was like camera is coming out and moving out like this, and remember those, even dramas also have these things,
Yes.
funny movements. These are the hook. This is the hook for that video. I mean, you will understand this depth. Try to surface it up. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I don't know how meritorious you are. You have, I mean, because of merits that you have done, now you are in the middle of the Buddha tornado. You were in the another tornado before, right? Tornado. And because of the merits, now you are in the middle of the tornado, the Buddha tornado. This tornado will eradicate all the tornadoes, right? Because you're now practicing something, you're listening. This listening is also a practice. You're contemplating while you listen to this Dhamma talk. Because you're building an awareness of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You're reflecting yourself because you apply the Dhamma to your mind right now. Right? So this week, I want you to surface this up. Which one? Vexation. Try to find it. Try to fine tune it. Try to find it. Do different things and see. Stay in one place like this without doing anything. You will, I mean, unbeknownly, you will take your hand and scratch somewhere. There's nothing to scratch, but you will scratch. You will do. That's why I love my Guru Hamduru. You know, Guru Hamduru, Guru Hamduru, Guru Hamduru. He knows what to do. He knows how to. You know that after that, there's a nice incident. Now what happened? Now he realized, okay, now Mahinda Hamduru and Vakula Hamduru, they both realized the depth of this problem. On that day, our construction managers, there are two monks who are construction managers. They looked after all these constructions. They are not Nayakateros, but under Nayakateros, under leaders, they are the managers, right? These monks, two of them monks, came to meet Guru Hadar, complaining that there's some monks actually not coming on right time to work or something. Like he was, they were about to come do what to do. Like we have to make them aware. Like we have to come on right time, something like that. Then Guru Hadar asked, okay, how many times did you practice the path? How many times did you go to morning Nyaya per week? And how many times did you came to Velimalu? How many hours you have done in Velimalu meditation? And then in their books, they have less. Okay, now I have a punishment. You know what, right? Now he asked, okay, now you both have to stay in Velimalu 18 hours. Get the time, like propose me a time. I will say what to do. You have to stay in Velimalu for 18 hours. This is this is to find that this is I want you to experience the depth of this problem. So now, then he asked Nayaka Thero, not Amada Thero, but there's another Nayaka Thero, third one, who is Dodangoda Dhammajiva Handro. He is the head of the construction project, all projects. Then he is asked to come like to come to Guru Huti, and in front of these two monks, he said, "Okay, these two monks didn't come to Velimalu for like half an hour. Like we have to do like at least 14 hours per week in Velimalu. So that's our requirement. So they didn't do that last 2 weeks. So now I have given this punishment 18 hours in Velimalu. Then that Nayakadero has asked, okay, I want everyone to involved in this. Now all the monks, now they are planning, like, so everyone has to, I think, do that to find this out, because then they will find it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you build this awareness, it will help you to contemplate it at each and every moment. Because when you don't have this awareness, you won't contemplate. Because of the busyness, you feel the balancing life. As a result of that, contemplation won't trigger in your mind. It won't trigger, right? That's why when you realize this, when you build this awareness, there's a huge problem here. Then you slowly start contemplating. It will happen to you. Sorry, I have taken 1.5 hours. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for coming, and see you next week. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you all. Terima kasih.